So every month of every year, we speak about the goodness of God in one form or another, don't we? And every week and every month of every year, we speak of our oneness with the goodness of God in one form or another, right? And every week of every month of every year, we speak about how the only thing that keeps us separate from it is our consciousness of separation in one form or another, right? So it's going to come to no surprise to you that that's exactly what we're going to be doing each week of this month in a variety of ways, in a related theme, which is kind of loosely related, called a cornucopia of good. As we set the stage for today, there's a little story that I wanted to share, and that is a young woman was walking in the forest one day and having a conversation with God that went something like this. So God, I've always been curious about something. Is 1,000,000 years the same to you as it is to me? And God replied, oh no, not at all. In fact, 1,000,000 years to me is like a single second to you. Oh, the woman said, that's interesting. So then God, what about $1 million? Is $1 million the same to you as it is to me? And God replied again, not at all. $1 million to me is just like, say a penny to you. Well, the woman paused to ponder that for a minute, and then the light bulb went on. She says, well, God, if it's all the same to you, could I have one of your pennies? And God said, with amusement in his or her voice, certainly, my child, in just a second. To God, a penny or $1 million, there's no difference. To God, feeding 50 people, feeding over 5,000 people, there's no difference. To God, these things are equal. One is really no bigger than the other, but it's our perception and that's really a different story, isn't it? Our thinking is more like this. In order to experience one of God's pennies, it would take 1,000,000 years, if then. But today, we want to explore how that's really not so. That's not the truth. The philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson articulated today's theme when he said, there is no great and no small to the soul that maketh all. Ernest Holmes said on page 86 of the Science of Mind textbook, and he puts our involvement into the equation when he writes, since we're dealing with that which is limitless, knowing no big and no little, the possibility of our demonstration rests not in the principle, but in our acknowledgement of and our embodiment in the ideas we desire to experience. Here's the spiritual truth, perhaps a little hard to hear, but the truth nonetheless. The only thing that keeps us from experiencing God's greatness in our lives is the way we think. Shakespeare once said it. He said, there's nothing good or evil, but thinking makes it so. We could change out the words good and evil for large and small, possible and impossible, etc., and the integrity of the statement would remain. So let's briefly put this morning's focus into context of how we believe life works through us. We believe that we are all creative beings here to express God more fully and completely. We believe that it is in fact our divine birthright to express life abundantly, joyously, freely, lovingly. And after all, that was what the master teacher Jesus promised, right? I have come so that you might have life and have it more abundantly. We believe that the process of creation from our perspective is threefold. We ask, the universe answers, and the answer is always yes. Then we receive or allow the answer to flow into our experience, or we don't. Right? And we believe that a simple question we can ask ourselves to measure whether we are in the allowing mode or not to do this is, do I feel good or do I feel bad? If you're feeling bad, you're not allowing that for which you have asked to find its way to you. In fact, you're pushing it away, because what you're really doing when you feel bad is thinking the opposite of what you want and sending out that vibration, and that's what the universe is going to respond to. So, okay, that was the introduction, kind of a month of sermons all rolled up into one little part there. Did we get all of that? Because this is really important for where we go. Because based on those beliefs, coupled with the premise that nothing is too great for God, we'll look at how to walk the path of creating greatness in your life. So is everybody with me? We all want to create greatness? All right, let's do it. So go with me for a moment, if you will. Think right now. Is there something you desire to create or experience in your life that seems too great, too big, or just impossible? Think about that for a minute. Think of it. Is there a dream too big or a challenge too difficult? Okay? Have that situation in mind as you listen to these words of Ernest Holmes, which appeared in the daily devotional in the Science of Mind magazine. And this was, I think, back in 2006. Close your eyes if you like and make them your own because they're written in the first person. I live in an expanding universe that is potent with divine possibilities. On every hand, the presence of God is beckoning to me, inviting my growth. Truly, I dwell in the house of the Lord today. There is nothing to hold me back, for his mind in me presses me forward into larger living and greater thinking. I steadfastly increase my awareness of God in my present world. I joyously accept an expanding, unfolding life. I keep the windows of my soul open to new and fresh ways of knowing the truth. I evolve into that image and likeness, which is already my inner pattern. I let go of the little to accept the more. Where I am, I make my demonstration of truth. I no longer wait for the future to solve my problems. I live in omnipresence, and right now, my good is at hand. What I seek is seeking me. The idea I need is now in my consciousness, and the law of mind is producing it. I relax and allow and realize that today is good, tomorrow is better, and each day is God's day. Take a deep breath and reflect on that. And breathe and reflect. Doesn't it feel right now as if nothing is too good to be true? Nothing is too wonderful to happen? There's no great and no small in the soul that maketh all. There was a phrase in that passage that is so important. Well, okay, lots of phrases were important, but this is the one that really stood out, and this was it. I let go of the little to accept the more. In order for us to accept the more, to allow into our lives that which may seem impossible or too great, we have to let go of the little. So what is the little? It's the belief that our desire is impossible or too great. I received this really cute story on the internet, and I dug it out because it just fit here. It's the story of the paste pearls that a little girl bought at the drugstore. She loved them so. And each night her dad came to her and asked her if she would give them to him, and she refused. Finally, because she loved him so much, she gave them up. Tearfully, she handed them over, and with that, he pulled out of his pocket a strand of real pearls for her. He'd really had them in his pocket for a long, long time, and he was just waiting for her to be willing to give up the lesser so that she might have the greater. Now, this is not a story about sacrifice. No, it's a story that illustrates the fact of our greater experience and how it cannot live in the same space as our lesser idea. When we hold on to something that isn't really serving us, that's the lesser idea. Our lesser idea must go so that the greater experience can come in. So that greater, whatever it means to you and however big it is really waiting there. It's waiting for you. Let me give you an illustration of what happens to us when we won't let go of the lesser. Let's say that you want to go to San Diego. I don't know why, but you want to go to San Diego. How would you go about getting there? The answer is pretty easy. No matter what your mode of transportation is, air, car, bus, or even on foot, if you start to move in that direction of San Diego and continue to move in that direction of San Diego, you will reach San Diego, right? Okay, but if you head to San Diego and then you lose your sense of direction and you head back toward your home and then get turned around and you head back to San Diego, but then get confused and head back to home, and then turn around and head back towards San Diego, but then you get confused again and you turn around and you're heading back home, you could potentially spend the rest of your life just moving back and forth, right? Never really conceivably arriving in San Diego. And you get pretty dizzy in the process. This scenario really seems ludicrous, doesn't it? Because really, none of us are going to do this. On the road to San Diego, you've got gas stations, you've got maps, you've got other travelers along the way. All of these people can come out. You've got little GPS things. You've got your iPhone. You know how to get there. And they're going to help you if you get turned around. So the trip between your home and San Diego is truly easily achieved. So to bring home the point, the trip between wherever you are on any subject and where you desire to be, no matter how big or far away it may seem, is as easily attainable as the trip from your home to San Diego. Once you realize that it is your holding on to the lesser beliefs that cause you to turn around and backtrack to head back home, so to speak. So how do you know that you've done this in an area of your life? How do you know that you've done this? Well, what are your life journey road signs? What are they? It's the way you feel. Check in with your feeling. Check in with your heart. Your feelings are your road signs along the way. For example, the thing that makes it seem so difficult or impossible to travel from financial insolvency to financial abundance is that you've not been aware when you turned around and headed in the opposite direction, when you picked the lesser belief again. How many of us have done that? How many of us have said our affirmations for financial abundance just to turn around and look at our checkbook and go, oh crap, there's no money in there. Well, how are we going to pay the bills? What are we going to do? It's so easy to slip right back into fear. And then we're heading the other direction. You've set the course this way, but you've turned around. I know I've done that, definitely. And the only reason your trip is not taking you from no relationship to perfect, fulfilling, rewarding relationship, or your desire from sickness into fabulous health, is that you've not been aware of the power of your thoughts. Apparently you're aware of the power of your thoughts, because Barb tells you, and feelings that keep sending you in the direction of no relationship and no health, until we finally get it, of course, like Andy did. But now you know what to do. You have to let go of that lesser belief, and you can know when you do that, you can know that you're doing that by the way that you feel, if you feel good or if you feel bad. So when you begin to feel badly, whether that comes in the form of fear or dread or doubt or concern, you can know that you have begun to head in the wrong direction, and you can take corrective action. It's great. It's kind of like a little warning light in your car, right? The one that I ignore all the time that says I need gas or whatever. No, you can pay attention to that little warning light. Oh, this doesn't feel right. So now, okay, you've got this really big goal, this big challenge. But you're really starting to pay attention to the way you feel and starting to correct your course, whenever you see you are getting off track or off track from your intention. And you are deliberately creating more allowing thoughts and feelings heading in the direction of your dreams. And when you do that, something will happen. You'll begin to get inspired ideas and action steps. So don't delay. Don't second guess the universe. Act when the intuitive nudge occurs. If the step feels good, do it. If it doesn't feel good, don't. Check in, only if it feels right. Remember in the movie The Secret, the woman who wanted the relationship? She was sitting on a park bench looking at the singles ads and not really feeling all that good about it, when a volleyball drops in her lap. Then she took the first step, not knowing where it would lead. She picked up the volleyball and joined the game. Then she said yes to the second step by saying yes to the invitation to go to dinner afterwards. We reach that thing which appears so great so huge, so impossible, one step at a time, one rung of the ladder at a time. I love the passage in the Psalms that says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." When you carry a lantern at night, the path ahead is illumined only by a step or two at a time, right? Go to the edge of the light, you see. Take a step, even a baby step, and the light will show you the next step. But we don't want a lantern, do we? We don't want a little lantern. We want a floodlight. Click. You know those big floodlights that come on where you watch the people working, it looks like daylight on the freeways? We want that. If we can't see the end of the path from where it begins, we become paralyzed. We want to know where we're going. We want to know the end result. However, we just need to take the steps. Think of the headlights of a car. We've talked about this. They let us see only 200 feet in front of us. But if we keep following them, we get to our destination, don't we? We really trust that the light will keep moving as we keep moving. So what is your step to move toward your big dream, your impossible healing, your miracle? Listen, you will be guided. Nothing is too great to the universe. The universe creates everything effortlessly and easily. It's only our thinking that makes things seem too big, unachievable, and impossible. So my suggestion this morning is to let go of the lesser, the belief in the impossible, and listen to your inner guide, and it will tell you what to do. And follow it one step at a time. I want to end with another personalized affirmative prayer from Holmes, also found in the Science of Mind magazine, I think again in 2006. As I speak them, these words, make them yours. I believe that my life is governed by a divine law. I believe that this law is the way God acts in my experience. I know that I can use this law to demonstrate any good thing. I know that what I think and feel, I bring forth into my experience. I think rightly and lovingly this day, and the law produces this in my affairs. The law of mind is the link between my thinking and my experience. Always I demonstrate my thought because the law never fails. No treatment is ever lost. No God-given idea which I assimilate will ever fail to materialize. Divine mind and its ideas are my heaven, and I am a transmitter for them. I turn my every experience into a heavenly one. I look out and see the glories of perfection around me. I look within and behold God's truth offering itself to me. I make heaven happen through my right thinking. My heaven demonstrated shows other people the way to theirs. And so it is.